Hey ladies, I'm Leanne Lisbon from Mind Over Muffin. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an emotional eating expert for women who are looking to kick that emotional eating or binge eating habit for good, but do it in a whole new way without having to diet, so you can feel confident, comfortable, and love the skin that you're in. So today I wanted to let you guys know that I am launching a free mini 3-part series called The Truth About Binge Eating. Now this series, whether you are an emotional eater, a binge eater, secret eater, stress eater, boredom eater, whether you don't even know what type of eater you are, but you know there's something going on in your eating habits that is not serving you and is not working for you and is not feeling good, this series is designed to give you a whole new outlook and approach to weight loss and to healing your relationship with food, so you can transform your eating habits and therefore the results you're getting physically. So for a lot of women, and myself included in the past, I got caught in this kind of cycle of I'd put on weight because I was emotionally eating, and then I'd go on these diets to try and lose it, right? So I would count my calories obsessively, not healthily, obsessively. I would be exercising every day with the wrong intention, because I was really unhappy with my body. And I went round and round and round in circles. I'm sure I would lose a bit of weight when I stuck to these diets. The minute I'd come off it, I'd put the weight back on. And the reason why is because I never addressed what was truly at the root of the problem. So part 1, today's episode is called What the Diet Industry Didn't Tell You. And I just want to kind of lay this out from the beginning. This is not slating the diet industry, but this is showing you why maybe it is not working for you. I believe diets have their place, but for a lot of women, they are not the long-term solution, and I'm going to show you why. So if you are someone who has been on this diet cycle for a long time and you're just not getting the results you want, hopefully this will bring you some clarity today. So the first thing I want you to understand, if you have gained weight, if you are struggling to lose weight, if you're emotionally eating, I know it feels like right now you have a problem with food. You look at the weight that you're carrying and you think, right, I've eaten too much. Now that's true in a lot of cases. We've put too much energy into the body and so we hold and gain weight. But what I want you to understand is that food is not actually the problem, okay? You do not have a food problem. What you have is something underlying that is making you want to eat when you are not physically hungry, right? So we need food to fuel our body, to give us nutrients. Weight loss is a very simple equation. We need to burn more energy than what we consume. If we do that, we will lose weight, okay? The diet industry has taken a very, very simple equation, which is that what I just said, and made it a little bit more complicated. You have to follow our plan to achieve this. You have to use our products to achieve this. You have to keep paying us to achieve this. Now there is a reason why the diet industry is a multi-billion-dollar business, because it is built on repeat customers, because it is never getting to the root of the problem. So like I said, it's easy to think that you have a food problem because you're gaining weight. But what I want you to understand is there is a reason why you are using food the way you are currently using it. There is a reason why your body is holding onto weight. There is a reason why you talk to yourself the way you do and put yourself down and beat yourself up. There is a lot more to the weight loss myth, if you like, than what the diet industry is letting on. So I want you to imagine that you have something happening in here, maybe something you've been through in the past, some kind of emotional event or experience you've been through, or maybe it's just past conditioning from a child, where you learn that food is a reward or a treat, or food makes you feel good, but there's something happening in here. This is the real issue, is happening in here. Now what we do as humans is we try and find a coping mechanism with that outside of ourselves. Some of us turn to food, some of us turn to cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, binge watching Netflix, scrolling social media for hours. We find a coping mechanism or a distraction, but this is never going to solve the problem on a deep level. So when you try and treat food as the problem, and you go on diets and you restrict your food, you count your calories, you focus on your food, what you can eat, can't eat, should eat, shouldn't eat, you are never dealing with the root of the problem. Like for me, for example, I was in a relationship, I was cheated on, I had a lot of emotion attached to that. It was the emotion that I kept inside because I didn't know how to release, that unconsciously was triggering me to want to eat when I was bored, lonely, sad, wanting happiness. No diet was ever going to fix that, ever. Ever, it couldn't. It's not possible. That's not what it's designed to do. So I want you to know that if you have been trying this diet approach and it's not working for you, it's because there's a missing piece. You know, for a lot of women, there's an emotional and habitual kind of side to this eating that is happening, and the diet is not going to help you fix that. What the diet is going to do is going to make you restrict your food, govern your food, and restriction and deprivation, they lead to binging. The minute you say, I am not going to eat this food, you want to eat it more. It's on your mind all the time. So the trick is to start addressing the root of the problem, and this means addressing why I am eating. Why am I wanting this food right now? What emotion is driving this? What am I trying to get from the food? Because you're never going to satisfy emotional hunger with food. So there's a big difference between physical hunger, which we need food for to nourish and fuel our body, and emotional hunger. When it's emotional, food is not going to hit the spot. It might do for a moment, but then we want more, and then we want more, and then we want more. And then we get the guilt thing kick in, right? We eat the food, we know we shouldn't have eaten it, and then we feel guilty. That's kind of the common pattern. So at Mind Over Muffin, what we do is we know there are 3 key elements to achieving weight loss, to achieving, healing your relationship with food and your body. The physical element, which is what you put in your body, the food, moving your body, which is what diets help you address, right? But there are 2 other key elements, and that is the emotional and the spiritual element. And this means looking at everything that's happening in here. What am I running in my mind? What habits am I allowing to play out? What emotional triggers are driving the need for me to want to eat? Let's look at self-love. Let's look at life as a whole. Where is there a void that, I'm not happy? Maybe you're not happy in your relationship or your job, or you're not kind of doing the things you want to do in life, and that creates your desire to want to eat. So there's a much more holistic approach to solving this problem. So if you are someone who has been struggling and not getting the result, this is the missing piece for you, right? So I want you to understand that the minute you restrict and govern your food on the diets, firstly, you're addressing something that's not actually the issue. You're trying to fix a food problem, but you do not have a food problem. You have something going on in here, in your emotions, in your mindset, in your beliefs, with your self-love, that is causing you to want to eat when you're not actually physically hungry, and at times can actually make you hold on to weight, because when we're carrying emotional stress in the body, it puts the body into survival mode and we hold on to weight. We cannot lose the weight. If you want to truly heal your relationship with food, you want to heal your relationship with your body, there are a few things you have to address. Number 1 is why you are using food in this way, why you are feeling this way around your body, why your body is holding on to weight. Number 2, where you learned this behavior. Where has this come from? This is where we need to look at your past conditioning and kind of the things you were taught as a kid and what you believe about food and your body. Number 3 is how. So why, where, how? How to change this, how to do something different. And this is what I want to open your eyes to throughout this series. So today has been wanting to help you understand that, the things that the diet industry hasn't covered and hasn't told you, and it is not your fault if you're not getting a result with diets. It is not your fault. It's just that they are not going to help you solve the emotional element that you have going on that is creating the eating habits. So over the next 2 parts of this series, we are going to dive into where you learn some of this stuff that's coming up around food and your body, and we're going to look at how to start to change it. Now, the first step of any change is awareness. So even after watching this video, I want you to start to become very aware of why you are using food the way you're currently using it. Be aware that maybe when you're reaching for food, that there's something else going on here. It is not about the food, it is about why you want to use food in that way. So start to ask these questions. Why am I doing this right now? Why am I using food to make me feel better? What is it I really need in this moment? And how can I give this to myself in a more positive way? And this really is the first step of any change. You cannot change anything unless you're aware of it. So that's your task for today, guys. I will be bringing you part 2 tomorrow and part 3 the following day, and we're going to delve deeper into some of these things happening in here. Remember, at Mind Over Muffin, we are all about addressing the why and what is happening within you that is creating this behavior. So if you have questions, comments, please reach out, DM me, email me, whatever. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this resonated with you. Let me know if you have questions, if you need support. And yeah, reach out, guys. I want to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that gives you an insight into why things might not have been working for you the way you want. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will speak to you soon.